It's day 57. Welcome back. Thank you so much for slogging through. I think this is apology day number 7, maybe, or 8 for this bad resolution. Unlike the cop shows, when they get a bad picture and it's like enhance, and then the computer goes beep, 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 and it like is crystal clear. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. George W. Bush, thank you. Or no, was that the original George Bush? Anyways, what's going on here today? I'm here for you. Oh yeah, so Abby and Lexi have talked. Okay, yeah, so I ended the day with oh yeah, so this is kind of interesting. So Holly's in her room, she goes in, she comes back out, she feels happier because she's getting the closure, and then she hears Lexi say, "Good night, Aunt Holly." And of course, by this time, we know that Lexi knows that she's not her aunt. So is she doing that as a show of sort of gratitude, respect, a bittersweet end to their relationship? Is she mocking her? Does she really like her? Which, I guess we have to assume she does. At this point in the script, having read it, if you've been reading it or listening to me and still not knowing what's going on, do you get the sense that, they have a pretty good relationship? That would be very interesting to see in the comments after you share and like and subscribe so you can get notifications. So, yeah, so, gosh, I have to believe it because I wrote this, but it's just amazing that I am just going back over the same stuff just over and over and over. And as I said early on, I'm trying to make this, one of my goals was to make this script, this story, as simple and straightforward as possible. I don't know, something in my brain, man, I just can't do simple things. Well, that's a loaded statement, isn't it? So they're driving up. They're basically having the same conversation. I'm just mixing things up a little bit. Can you read what I'm writing there? Oh, yeah. Oop. As I said before, it's funny. And again, I'm not alone. You find something and you go, ooh, I got to change that. And then you go, uh-oh, now I've got to change something else. And uh-oh, I got to change something else. It's the domino principle. Please tell me. It's funny, some lines, not lines of dialogue, but depending how the script is positioned on the page, something to do with the scan lines or something. It's like sometimes I can actually read it better and sometimes I can't. Like, it can wait for what? We've got. Whoop, time to change that line. The dreaded blue outline. Gosh, this is, I'm sure, as frustrating it is for me. You guys are, if there's anyone out there, you're probably just totally pulling your hair out going, why is Jack jumping around so much in the script? But I don't know. That's just the way I do it. I get a thought and boom, I go do it. The drive back, I really have to ride with you too. So now, I think the reason I added this, I know, because the last Lexi knew, Holly had told her that she was going to get a new assignment on Monday when she gets back. So Lexi, for the first time is saying, hey, I don't really want to ride back with you. But now I've already changed the news. You had something to tell me. So at the bottom of 15, Lexi says you're something to tell me, which obviously was about the job that she got. But then Holly says it can wait. You at least got to tell me before we get there because I'm not planning on riding back with you. So again, it's kind of this guilt thing that Holly's got going on, which I guess is what it boils down to, right? She doesn't want to tell Lexi until she has to, so she keeps putting it off. And then, as we know, that's probably not the wisest decision based on what's going to happen, although Holly doesn't know that. what's going to happen, that is. But I do. And so do you if you've been sticking with me. And if you do, I super duper appreciate it. Again, that would be crazy if there were actually one or more people who have watched all of these days and have stuck with me. And please don't give up, because the resolution is going to improve and hopefully the story will keep getting better, if it's not already. Yeah, don't, never mind. I don't want any comments. So they're up at the race car or the go-kart place. Very little is changing there. I think I'm happy with this whole sequence. Having said that, watch me. Championship axe thrower. About that. So, I'm sorry, but we need to go straight to the cabins. So what has prompted that? Has she known this all the time, and she doesn't want to tell the kids because she doesn't want to, let them down. But at the same time, of course, she is letting them down because she keeps giving them bad news. And so Lexi goes, "Oh, that's the bad news you were going to tell me, or that's what you didn't want to tell me." And Holly doesn't answer that. She just invites Gary to ride with her so he can see the top end of the vehicle, which, that's kind of evolved too. And there's a lot of stuff. I don't know. You write the first time and you get into a character and you go, "Oh, that's kind of a quirky thing," or "That's interesting." And then it plays out throughout the script. But then if you go back, it's kind of that dominoes thing. If you go back and change and take the quirky part out early on, like, he likes fast cars or something. If you take that out, then every other occurrence and instance of that, you've got to cut out or tweak or change or something. So, but again, my contention is, and by no means do I have any reason to back this up, is that for me, I can only do that through writing and writing and writing and rewriting, etc. I can't do it. I just don't see how you can do that in an outline, in a treatment or whatever. I just don't see how people, maybe, I guess if you knew the characters super well because you've spent a lot of time in the outline with them and done backstories, maybe you just get to know your character so well you can just write their dialogue and it's just golden from the first time out of your brain, into the keyboard and onto the computer. I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I'm not saying people don't write that way, because I have no reason to think they don't, but that would be awesome. Let's see what's going on here. About this. So there's a little angst, discomfort, whatever, especially Larry feels like he's getting the short end of the stick here. And I think maybe, as I've said, and I just sort of realized this now, maybe I didn't, that sort of is what prods him or leads him into making the decision right about now in the script to take a more proactive thing and go with Lexi, because I think he sort of feels like he's kind of the odd man out. He knows less than anyone. And so it's like, wow, the way I can know more is by going with Lexi. Because he doesn't do it, to try to steal her away. There's no even hint of that. I think in a few early drafts there may have been. But, he doesn't want to steal Gary's girlfriend. He and Abby are more or less boyfriend and girlfriend. So, that's not his MO at all. So this is when, again, what I was talking about, Gary is not going to go with her. And so Larry sort of sees the opening and decides to, again, no romantic reasons, just to be a friend and go with her and kind of steal the thunder a little bit from those who thought they knew what was going on more than he did. So, it's not like he's jealous. I think it is a valid reason. Someone who has read part of the script said, "Now, why are you sure that Larry was supposed to go with her and not Gary because of the boyfriend-girlfriend thing?" And he stopped reading because I told him I'd made so many changes that it wasn't worth his while. So no one has read this script yet. Hopefully that's going to change in a few days from the present. And again, the present is almost the end of August. And I can't tell the date on this script, but I'm assuming it's late June or early July. Could be well into July. Well, not well in. Oh my. Okay, no. Sorry, I thought I jumped way ahead. So, as before, and again, I'm sorry you probably can't read this very well, but they're dividing themselves up. We've got some going to the treehouse loft, and which is where Rachel is, and then you've got the others going to the double diamond, or I can't even remember what the name of it is. The other double dove, I think so. And in real life, as I said, this is like, I think, kind of a romantic getaway for couples. And the fact that they were going here makes you think that, certain things which shouldn't happen with unmarried couples might have been happening. But of course, that's all changed. So, all right. So now Holly is breaking this to her at the top of 26, I think that is, that I got my new assignment last night, Miami, Florida. They need me there ASAP. Do you say ASAP or ASAP? If you were reading that in a dialogue, how would you pronounce it? I would say ASAP, I think. Or app. That'd be funny. ASAP. No, ASAP. So, yeah, so this is another thing I've kind of struggled with, which is kind of like, thank you, Captain Obvious, because I've rewritten this scene so many times, is how much emotion Holly's going to show back to Lexi. How emotional can you get? This is basically the end of Act 1. So is it too early to get emotional? Is it, I never really thought of that. Is it too much to expect an audience can be so invested in a character after, 20 minutes, 25 minutes? Although, bad question, because we've all seen the movie Up, and I was bawling after that opening montage of 3 or 4 minutes. So, yes, you can get invested if you are a good writer, or you can invest the audience. In case Miami goes south. So, yeah. And again, so Lexi is hugging her, getting emotional. Holly's being relatively stoic, which, that's just how I've made her. And I think I could justify that's how she would be, even after all this time, being her, quote, aunt, blah, 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 blah. So she just leaves it at, I hope everything works out. She doesn't want to say any more. So Lexi goes into the cabin, I believe. And again, I had gone back and forth a lot on if Rachel would see Holly and vice versa. And obviously they do. And they really have to, because being the protagonist and the antagonist, it would be kind of weird if they didn't meet until the end. They do meet. I mean, they see each other for like 5 seconds at the beginning, but I don't know how many movies. It'd be interesting to know. I'm sure there's some where they literally don't meet until the end. Some of the, I guess, James Bond, maybe they don't see the villain till the end. But anyways, so yeah, they do have to see each other. Now I appear to have jumped ahead. You know what? I think I was recording on the wrong screen, so I was working on the screenplay, but I was recording the other screen, which had something else on it. So I think I missed possibly a chunk of writing. Yes, I know it's a huge crime, so get your money back. No, I'm just being sarcastic. I apologize for missing part of the documentation. I probably am not going to win the Oscar or the Emmy because my documentary is incomplete. But I do think I skipped some stuff. Okay, this is page 38. Sorry, I'm just reading this. Gosh, I'm yawning. It's funny. Like at 9, about 10 after 9, I seem to start yawning, but then I'm really not tired because I don't go to bed till almost 11. Ooh, that's very exciting, Jack. So, yeah, Abby, again, they're trying to guilt Holly into coming back. I think a problem with this is, I mean, people have to act and react, and then are you active, are you proactive? And you have to have someone to react against. You have to be getting new information to change your mind. If you're just sitting there, oh, yeah, I changed my mind. It's like, why? What changed your mind? There's got to be some exterior force, especially in a movie, as opposed to a book where you could have a big, long inner dialogue and, think back to when you were a kid and you think of some memory and that makes you change your mind. So, yeah, now Gary's trying to lay it on thick. If you can't get sleep tonight, you'll know why. So, Gary and Abby are trying to make her feel guilty, sort of. And one thing I want to say, because day 57 is over, I recorded a bunch of screen stuff that turned out to be not my writing, so who knows if I missed some. But writing to the age of your character, I think I had mentioned in one of my other scripts, I had like a pair of 6-year-olds, and someone read it and they say, either you need to change what they say or you need to change their age. So I did. But in this case, obviously you've got Holly who's, 36, 37, and then you've got 18, 19, 20-year-olds. You've got Rachel who's older. You've got Paul who's older. And so giving them distinct voices can be the way they talk. It could be the words they use, the slang they use. And then of course there's the added challenge of having twins who you would think would pretty much talk alike, which, you could use to your advantage or disadvantage. But that's, gosh, I don't know. It's, for one person to speak basically for 6 to 8 to 10 different people, that definitely takes a talent, which I'm still developing. I think a lot of people are developing. Wow, day 57 turned out to be a so-so day in my estimate, maybe because of this bad resolution. But that's one day closer to good resolution. So thanks again. I hope you don't get tired of hearing it. I don't get tired of saying it. If you are still watching this, if you're sharing it, liking it, you can only subscribe once, so I'm not going to mention that again. But I will say, I hope you come back tomorrow because we've got 57 days in the can. And spoiler alert, I won't tell you, but there's no, I'm not going to tell you how many days left. But I'll see you for 58 on a Screenwriter's Journey.